I'm going to show you the 10 genuine red flags that indicate you're working with an agency that's taking advantage of you. Not the usual rubbish that you hear online, but the real problems we see with £1 million to £5 million businesses who've been burnt. Let me start with a question. When was the last time your marketing agency actually picked up the phone when you called? Can they explain in plain English what they did last month and why? And when you ask for the login details to see your own campaigns, do they give them to you or do they make up excuses? If you hesitated on any of those, this video might save you thousands of pounds. So here's the first and most obvious red flag. They're not responding to you. Not just slow to respond, genuinely not responding. Emails go unanswered for days, calls go to voicemail, arranged meetings get cancelled last minute with vague excuses. This isn't about being busy because professional agencies, even small ones, have a system for client communication. If you can't get hold of them for 3 days running, something's seriously wrong. What's usually happening is they're either overwhelmed with too many clients or they're hiding from you because they haven't done the work they said they would. Recent industry research shows poor communication is the #1 complaint about marketing agencies. But there is a difference between not great at updating and actively avoiding contact. If your agency has genuinely disappeared, or if it takes multiple attempts over several days to get a response to urgent questions, that's not poor service, that's a red flag. They're not managing your account properly, or worse, they're taking your money whilst doing nothing. A proper agency responds within 24 hours. They might not have the answers immediately, but they acknowledge your message and give you a time frame. If yours doesn't, you need to have a serious conversation. Okay, second red flag. When you ask what they've been working on, they hide behind jargon or complexity.
Yes, we've been optimizing your meta schema whilst building high authority contextual backlinks through our proprietary outreach system.
Right, and what does that mean for my business? Don't get me wrong, technical language has its place, but if you ask a simple question, what did you do last month, and they can't explain it in terms you understand, that's a problem. Studies show that many agencies deliberately use confusing terminology to avoid accountability. Because if you don't understand what they're doing, you can't judge whether it's actually working. So here's a test. Ask your agency to explain their strategy as if they were talking to someone who knows nothing about marketing. If they can't do that, they either don't understand it themselves or they're hiding the fact there really isn't a strategy. A proper agency translates technical work into business outcomes. For instance, we've improved your site speed, which reduced bounce rate by 12%, which should increase conversions over the next quarter. It's clear, understandable, and accountable. So if your agency speaks in riddles and deflects when you ask for plain English explanations, they're either incompetent or deliberately obfuscating. Either way, it's a red flag. The third red flag, they guaranteed specific outcomes during the pitch that you haven't seen. Things like, we guarantee the first page of Google in 30 days, or 100 qualified leads in the first month guaranteed, or we'll triple your revenue in 90 days or your money back. These aren't ambitious targets, they're lies. And they're designed specifically to get business owners who don't fully understand digital marketing to sign contracts. No legitimate agency can guarantee specific rankings or lead numbers. Google's algorithm doesn't work that way. Market conditions don't work that way. Your industry competition doesn't work that way. What's really happening when agencies make these promises? They're counting on you not holding them accountable when they inevitably don't deliver. They'll blame seasonality, they'll blame your website, your sales team, the algorithm changes, anything except their own overpromising. A proper agency sets realistic expectations based on your industry competition and your budget. They show you what's achievable, not what sounds impressive. And when things don't go to plan, which sometimes happens in marketing, they tell you honestly and adjust the strategy. If your agency promised the world to get the contract but is now making excuses about why you haven't seen results, that's not bad luck. It's a red flag. So the fourth red flag, when you request admin access to see your campaigns, they resist or make excuses. To be clear, It's normal for agencies to manage campaigns day to day. It's normal for them to have their own workflow. But when you ask clearly and directly, "I'd like admin access to see what's happening," a legitimate agency says, "Absolutely, let me set that up for you." If instead you get, "Our custom dashboard shows you everything you need," or "That would be quite technical for you to understand," or "We'll need to give you some training first," those are deflections. Industry experts are clear on this. Clients should have admin access to their own accounts. Full stop. It's your money being spent. It's your business being marketed. You have every right to see exactly what's happening, even if you don't check it regularly. Agencies that resist giving access when explicitly asked are hiding something. Maybe they're not doing as much work as they claimed. Maybe they're making mistakes they don't want you to see. Maybe they're using your budget in ways you wouldn't improve. Whatever the reason, if they won't give you access to your own accounts when you ask for it, that's a major red flag. The fifth red flag is they're using click farms or buying fake followers to inflate your metrics. This is actual fraud. An agency pays for thousands of fake social media accounts to follow your business and engage with your content. Your follow account shoots up and your engagement looks great. Your reporting shows impressive growth, but none of it is real. None of those followers are potential customers. None of that engagement leads to any business. It's entirely artificial, designed to make it look like something's happening whilst delivering zero value. Research shows this is more common than people think. Some agencies explicitly offer "grow your following fast," and that's code for buying fake engagement. Here's how to spot it. If your follower count suddenly jumped by thousands, but your inquiries haven't changed at all, something's wrong.
Houston, we have a problem.
If your engaged followers have no profile pictures and nonsense usernames, or are all from countries you don't do business in, you've probably got fake followers. A professional agency builds genuine engagement from real people who might actually become customers. It's slower, the numbers are smaller, but it's real. If your agency is inflating your metrics with fake engagement, they're not just wasting your money, they're actively defrauding you. So here's the sixth red flag. They provide no reporting whatsoever, or reports that are deliberately vague and meaningless. Not reports that could be better, literally no data at all. You ask how campaigns are performing and you get told really well with nothing to back it up. Or you get reports that are so generic they could apply to any business. Web traffic up by 23% with no context about where the traffic came from, whether it's relevant or whether it led to any inquiries. Research shows that many agencies provide minimal analysis or reporting. But there's a difference between could report better and actively avoiding accountability. A professional agency shows you what they did, why they did it, what results it generated, and what they're doing next. They track the metrics that matter to your business: inquiries, leads, conversion rates, not just vanity metrics like impressions. If your agency won't show you concrete evidence of what they've been doing and what results it's generated, they either haven't done the work or the work hasn't achieved anything. Either way, that's a red flag. The seventh red flag, they've never asked meaningful questions about how your business actually works. I bet they've never asked you, what's your average sales value, your sales cycle length, your profit margins, what makes customers choose you over your competitors, and what objections do your sales team hear repeatedly? Because if they don't know these things, they can't possibly build an effective marketing strategy. Yet they're happily taking your money to run generic campaigns that could be literally for any business in your industry. Marketing industry research consistently shows this is a major problem. Agencies applying the same standard approach to every client, regardless of their specific business model or market position. For example, a £4 million business with a 6-month sales cycle and a £30,000 average contract, your marketing should look completely different to a business with a 2-week cycle and a £500 sales value. If your agency doesn't understand that distinction, they can't market for you effectively. A proper agency spends significant time in onboarding, understanding your business deeply, and they ask difficult questions. They want to understand what makes you different, what your customers care about, and what your numbers allow you to spend on a client acquisition. If your agency is just executing standard tactics without understanding your specific business context, they don't have a strategy. They're doing general process, and you're paying a premium price for the generic work. 8th red flag. You met experienced senior people in the pitch, but now you're dealing with the junior staff who clearly don't have expertise for an account your size. This is the classic bait and switch. The A team close the deal and the C team does the work. Your campaigns are being managed by someone who's never worked with a business turning over £5 million. They don't understand the complexity of your buying cycle. They're making beginner mistakes because they're beginners. Before you signed, you should have asked, who specifically will be working on my account? And what's their experience with a business like mine? If the agency was vague, or if those people never materialized, you've been switched. Your results depend entirely on the people actually managing your campaigns. If they're junior, overwhelmed, or inexperienced, your outcomes will suffer no matter how impressive the agency's portfolio looked. If you're working with people who aren't part of the original pitch and don't have relevant experience, that's a red flag. You're paying for expertise you're not receiving. The 9th red flag. Every month, regardless of results, everything is going really well. No strategy works perfect from day one. Markets shift, competitors respond, and tests fail. That's normal marketing. What's not normal is an agency that never admits when something isn't working. Every campaign is performing well, every metric is trending positively, every month is great progress. Meanwhile, your inquiries haven't increased, your pipeline hasn't grown, nothing has actually changed. What's happening? Well, they're reporting activity instead of outcomes, and they're never acknowledging when their tactics aren't delivering results. The right kind of agency tells you honestly when things aren't working. For example, this campaign didn't perform as expected, and here's why, and here's what we're changing. That's not failure, that's a professional marketing management. If your agency has never once said, this didn't work as well as we hoped, they're either impossibly perfect or they're lying to you. Given marketing is full of testing and iteration, they're almost certainly lying. An agency that can't be honest about what's not working won't improve your results. They'll just keep charging you whilst nothing changes. And here's the 10th and final red flag. You decide to end the relationship and suddenly they're holding your data hostage. You've decided it's not working, you give notice, and suddenly the agency that was slow to respond all year is now very responsive with demands. And they say things like, we'll need 90 days notice, but the contract says 30. Or there's a £15,000 exit fee to transfer everything over. Your website is built on our proprietary platform, so you can't take it with you. The Google Ads data belongs to us, not you. This is extortion. You paid for that work, you paid for those campaigns, you paid for that website, you paid for those ads to run. It's all yours. The professional agencies make it straightforward for you to leave, not because they want you to, but because they're confident in their work. Everything you paid for gets handed over cleanly. Login details get provided, files are transferred, campaign data exported. There's no drama, no ransom demands. If your agency threatens, delays, or charges extortionate fees when you try to leave, they knew all along that eventually you'd want to go, because the work was never good enough to keep you voluntarily. This is probably the biggest red flag of all, because they're more interested in trapping you than earning your continued business. If your agency shows multiple of these red flags, here's what to do. First of all, document everything. Keep records of failed communications, vague reports, and undelivered promises. Request immediate access to all your accounts and data, and if they resist, that tells you everything. Ask for a detailed breakdown of the work completed in the last 3 months. Actual work, not just strategy sessions or optimization, and set a clear deadline for improvement. For instance, we need to see X, Y, and Z within 30 days, or we need to discuss ending this partnership. Some agencies will step up when confronted, Most won't because the problems are systematic and not accidental. And if you do need to leave, make it absolutely sure that you have admin access to all your accounts before you tell them. Otherwise, they'll hold your data hostage. If you're running a business turning over £1 to £10 million and you recognized your agency in multiple of these red flags, understand this: you're not being paranoid. These are genuine warning signs of agencies that are taking advantage of their clients. Professional marketing partnerships are built on transparency, honesty, communication, and shared accountability. If yours isn't delivering that, then it's time to find someone who will. If you'd like a second opinion on what your current agency is actually delivering, or if you're looking for a marketing partner who treats your money like their own, that's exactly what we do here at High Performance. Let's have a chat.